Hey, this is Chris Williams. Welcome to Grow Your Side Business Podcast. I'm so glad that you are here, where I help ambitious employees just like you be able to grow and build a profitable side business. The Side Hustle Secrets course is out right now. You can get it. The link is in the description. You can go to growyoursidebusiness.com, grab the course if you've been wanting to know how do you take what's in your head and put it out there in the marketplace and build you a digital online presence and be able to generate revenue from it. I got you. Doesn't matter whether you're mid to high level in your career. I have something for you that'll literally be able to help you go from I don't know how to do this to be able to formulate it and then actually go deploy it. So you can go to growyoursidebusiness.com or look in the description below and get access to the Side Hustle Secrets, okay? So in today's episode, here's what I thought I would do. There's a ton of questions that come out about building a side business or specific types of side businesses. And I typically will respond individually to people. Well, I wanted to go ahead and provide some context while, on the episode. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm answering your questions today. If you want to be able to submit me questions, it's really simple. You can find me on Twitter, GYSB podcast. Right there on Twitter, you can just submit a question. I'll answer it for you. Or you can find me on Instagram. You can go to the Christopher Williams, THE Christopher Williams with an S at the end. Or you can go right to Twitter or on TikTok, Go to TikTok, GYSB podcast. If you go there too, you'll be able to submit a question. Submit your questions. I'll answer them. Right. And so today I wanted to be able to answer a lot of questions. So I'm going to do these rapid fire and just try to give you some context to these. OK, so first one. Shout out to Grumsy for submitting a question. Hey, I'm super curious about video editing. I've been doing it for quite a bit now, and I was wondering where can I find my first clients and maybe some tips or info on where to find them. All right, so here's the thing I would say. If you're going to make, first of all, shout out to you for wanting to grow your side business in video editing. Where do I find my first clients? So let me say this. Your first clients are the people who are actually producing content. And I know that sounds like super simple, but what I want you to understand is any person like myself who is actually producing any form of content just for social media, on YouTube, short form content for their business and their clients, whatever it is, people need video editors now more than ever. If you think about even some of the larger social media, quote unquote, influencers or business experts in their field, they're using a lot more short form content and they have other people who actually do the editing and the producing. The biggest key is who do you want to serve? So what I would tell you to do is, number one, I would actually go look at a particular industry. Like if you're interested in doing video editing for real estate agents or real estate investors, right? You can get really niche. I do video editing for real estate owners in the short-term rental market. I do video editing for real estate investors of commercial properties. I do real estate video editing, right? Like you can go as far as you want to, right? You can do the same thing in nutrition, right? I do video editing for those who have a focus on protein bars and snacks, right? Why is that important to niche down? Because what happens is then you know where to go look, and you know those companies, those people, those influencers who are promoting other people's products, they need that stuff because their job is to produce content. But one of the things that I would tell you to think about is the level at which, and I just heard this recently, and it's something I'm going to be focused on in 2023, you provide efficiency for the actual content producer. Meaning, instead of them having to spend 2 or 3 hours doing something, they can hand over the work to you and get it done and just focus on what they're good at, right? So hopefully that helps, but that's what I would do. I would literally, you want to find your first clients, pick a niche of an industry, go find those people and reach out and let them know, hey, this is what I do. And instead of just telling them what you do, I would make sure that across all of your social media, you are producing actual content that you edited. I don't know how many times I see people say, hey, I want to go do this thing or I want to start the side business, but they have nothing to show that that's really what they're into, right? So go do that. So hopefully that's helpful. All right. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Well, let's go. I'm just going through all of these here. Can you make a video on money and side hustles that can be relatable for a teenager? All right. Well, I won't say there's not much you could do, but one of the things you could be doing is you can promote other people's products, right? Like the world of influencing has now come down. Bigger companies now got to see it as relatable. So if, for example, if you like candy, specifically, I'm an M&M's guy, right? So Mars, if you're listening, holla at your boy. But let's say Mars knows that the next generation of candy folks to eat it is going to come from the people that look like the kids who eat it today, right? So if you're, into that, I would just start going on TikTok and actually like producing videos about your favorite candy and tagging Mars. Mars actually owns M&M's, the brand. So that's something you could do. There's a kid who's literally now worth like $200 million, and all he did was review toys. And he's been doing it since like he was so small. All he does is literally go on his social media and they get a toy and they review it. Then toy makers started sending them toys, and all of a sudden he blew up. So there's lots of little things that you could do like that companies love, right? So there's an answer to that. Hey, you're enjoying this episode, right? Well, there's something I wanted to share with you. Have you ever heard of the triangle of value? Well, it's something that I actually teach in my Side Hustle Secrets course. See, you actually have a profession, you have practices, and you live by a set of principles. That is your triangle of value. Well, within that triangle of value, you are so valuable in the marketplace that what you know in your head, somebody else is willing to pay you in order to be able to get that information so that they can do the same thing that you're doing. But you didn't know that until now. Well, I've created something just for you. I got a course called the Side Hustle Secrets course. If you go to thesidehustlesecrets.com, you can go ahead and get into my course. I teach you how to use that triangle of value and actually be able to create you a great online profitable business. But here's the cool part. Along with that, I show you my core 4 strategies and how to be able to take that triangle of value and turn it into 4 different streams that you can be able to leverage to be able to build you a great side business and reduce the financial stress. Because listen, I know you're enjoying your job. I know you've done all the work that you needed to get where you are today. But I also know this, between layoffs, firings, and downsizings, it's bound to happen. It happened to me twice. I don't want it to happen to you. Or at least if it does, you have something to fall back on and you don't have to hurt you and your family. I know you got a lot of information in your head and I know you could scale it. And I know there's somebody else out there who is happy, willing to pay you to get that information. Well, let me show you how to do it. Go to thesidehustlesecrets.com, get the course, and let's work together to build out and build you what you need for you to have a great side business. Let's get back to the episode. Oh, I like this one. Okay, I don't know how to say this name, so I'm not going to attempt. But hey there, I'm really confused if I have to launch multiple side hustles or just focus on only one. Man, this is a great question. So I'm going to tell you the short answer is one. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's really easy to get FOMO, fear of missing out. Meaning you start all of these different businesses, side businesses, because you don't want to miss out on potential money because you're watching all of the trends or you're seeing the people who just now started what we like to call new money, right? They just got there. And they're not telling you the 10 years they put in. They're not showing you any of that. They're just showing you the lifestyle, quote unquote, of making it, right? When not everybody makes it. So I would tell you, number one, especially if you got a full-time job, only focus on one. Here's the second thing I'm also going to tell you. The reason to focus on one is because you only have but so much time, right? And I'd rather you spend an actual real effort and time and energy and getting efficient at one particular thing. Don't worry about what you're quote unquote missing. Because you know what? If you make enough money, all that you think you're missing, you can go back and get in droves, right? So don't let fear of missing out be the reason that you do a bunch of stuff and you never like get really good at one thing. So that would be my personal thought there. Great question. Let's see. Airbnb marketing. This is an interesting question. How do I reach out to hosts? So Airbnb marketing, here's what I would do. Again, y'all, you got to understand the point of I would say this. The point of my social media today is not just to post funny stuff that I think is funny. It's because I want to remind the world that when you see Chris Williams, when you see me, you immediately think, oh, that's right, he's going to help me grow my side business. So every question I ask, every post I put up, like, that's the thing. Why do I bring that up when you're talking about how do I, do Airbnb marketing and how do I find these hosts? You have to tell people that's what you're looking for. And if you want to find an Airbnb host, why don't you just actually reach out to hosts on the Airbnb app and say, hey, this is what I do, or go stay at their actual Airbnb and say, hey, I love this particular Airbnb. Man, this is awesome. You know what? I've been doing marketing and I'm specifically helping people like yourself. Would you like some help? And can we have just a quick call so I can understand your needs? That's a real way to do it. Here's the other cool part. When you go stay at these Airbnbs, you know what you could do? And this is just a business idea. You want to start a side hustle? On the weekends, you could be staying at an Airbnb, reviewing the Airbnb, putting it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or wherever, and then letting people know in the video, hey, if this is you and you're the type of person that has an Airbnb and you're looking for marketing needs, reach out to such and such. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Boom, there's a business. You're getting to do something you love, which is stay in Airbnbs. You get to travel to cool places. You get to do these videos, which, by the way, the host wants that information out there. So they're going to immediately reach out to you. And there you go. You got a full-fledged side business. So I gave you that one for free. That's just some free game.